What's up, wrestling fans? Thank you for listening to the Steve and Jay Show. I am not Steve, but don't you worry your pretty little heads, because this guy sitting right over here to my right-hand side, he happens to be the Hall of Famer, Steve Frazier. I'm Jason Courier, and if you're a wrestling fan like we are, please click subscribe down below, and don't forget to click that little notification bell to receive notification when we post our new stuff. And come back sometime, hang out with us. We love talking wrestling.
Absolutely.
Drink a beer with us.
Raw. The week of wrestling is what we're talking about to this evening. This
it is
fine, lovely.
September the 13th, 2018. We're talking about the week of wrestling. We're going to talk about Raw, Smackdown.
Right. There's a lot going on.
Ring of Honor.
Right.
There was some really good Ring of Honor match this week.
There was.
We're going to also go through a little bit of fan questions. We've got a couple of them.
Right. And we'll finish that with the end, right?
You want to have your question read on the air, please comment or write us down in the comments down below, or write us at stevenjshow.com.
And we will try to read as much as possible. Pretty much we'll read all of them. There's no guarantees with anything, right? Though,
I'll read all of them at least. One of the two of us are going to respond to you at some point, some way. We might not talk about it here, but
keep listening and maybe we will, you know. So
at some point.
At some point, exactly.
Yeah. So. Monday Night Raw started out with Dolph Ziggler and Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre coming out with the entire heel locker room,
which is interesting,
surrounding the ring, and they said, well, last week you guys finally called out the bully, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. The big guy in the yard, right?
And so they called out the Shield for being the big bully, and they've been bullying the locker room. Well, of course, what do the bullies do then?
So exactly. So what do you do?
Out and, which I don't understand what they're doing with this storyline. What?
I'm kind of confused with it too. It's like, you know, you've got individual dudes and trying to do what they're trying to do. I have no idea. I mean, I'm still confused with it because, I mean, you got Strowman. He's supposed to be the big guy, right?
He's supposed to be the baddest dude on the planet.
Right.
And Drew McIntyre should be, too.
Well, he just won his
belt,
right?
Is a veteran. Like, they all should. Why do they even need the heel locker room to come around the ring and bail them out, basically, to begin with? But
I don't know, yeah.
Even with that,
I just don't understand.
What are the Shield? And so the Shield now are the heel, and the heel are the babyface then in this storyline? Because the bully in my storyline is never the...
Well, they come out with axe handles, right?
And then they come out and Dean breaks out the...
So now there's the bad boys in the yard, right?
Axe handles, and Jinder takes a pretty mean shot.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah,
that was kind of bad. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Whew. Poor guy. So
why did he get the short straw? Why? Why Jinder?
I know, right?
Shunty.
Shut it on me, bro.
Why?
I don't know. I don't understand that either. I don't get it.
The actual first match of the evening of Monday Night Raw, it was like almost 30 minutes in. It was like 25 minutes into Monday Night.
When we finally kicked off.
It was a big Raw like setup show. They're setting up. This was the go home show for Hell in a Cell.
Pretty much setting up promos.
And it was a whole bunch of promos, lots of talking,
getting people caught up with the rivalry, and you know why we don't like you, right? Yeah. This is why the match started. Yeah.
So the first match of the evening didn't come till like 25 minutes in, and Nikki, who was accompanied by Brie Bella, her twin sister.
Of course, right.
Who took on Ruby Riot, and the Riot Squad accompanied her, of course.
Absolutely.
And before the match, the Riot Squad destroyed violated the...
I was going to say...
I don't know what they did.
How do you even say that? How do you put that in the category?
I guess it was supposed to be spray paint that was on the, but it was like...
But it's more violation.
It was like crayon that they...
Crayon.
I don't know what they were trying to do with it, but they
try to make it
they've
funny
been trying
and just
to make
didn't
the
know
whole,
what to do, and take the seriousness off it, right?
It's good. You know what? I don't want to be Johnny fucking negative over here, but...
Johnny fucking negative. Pretty bad, though.
That was not good, and I'm not a big fan of the Bellas to begin with.
Well, even with Ruby, and you got Nikki
and what
coming
they've
out.
done with her, because she was so much better in NXT.
She was.
All of them were. The AOP, Authors of Pain, then took on some local talent, and they did the whole Drake Maverick in his Halloween costume thing again.
That was interesting. What'd you think about that? Like, why still hold on to that? Why you keep doing that?
Again, I don't mean to just continue to be negative, but...
Well, what's up?
I don't like this. Like, they need to do something different than... I get what... They need a manager. Authors of Pain, they need a manager. They have to have that.
Right.
I get that they need to have that. They have to have that.
Kind of like a Brock. He needs a manager, right?
He needs to have it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. The local talent, though,
I just don't know that it's Drake Maverick. When you've got two guys that are that size and that are that big, anything that you... Now that you've already broken it, you can't
you can't put it back
Drake,
together.
Yeah, you can't put it back together.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't put him in anything, and he's not going to look like a little kid dressing up and playing like the guy that's leading Authors of Pain now. You cannot convince me that he's the one pulling the strings. And no,
I don't get it. I'm not buying it.
Not buying it. Not
you could
doing
take your
it,
wolf
today.
tickets and shove it up your ass.
Yeah, you could go fuck off.
Go fuck off.
Yeah,
especially yourself.
Yeah, no, not happening. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
Still playing dress up too. But I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Speaking of playing dress up, Triple H decided to quit dressing up with a little tie and put on some wrestling trunks again.
Thank God.
And he came out and he pulled up in the limousine when his suit and tie.
Yeah, thinking like the old Vince way.
Yeah,
right?
He cut a pretty decent little promo.
I liked it.
I'm not a big fan of the whole idea, and we talked pretty extensively while we watched Monday Night Raw about this. Mm-hmm. About the whole idea of them. Well, I'll let you.
Well, just doing the whole thing. Like, I mean, good Lord. Like, you got Undertaker, right? Obviously, we know this is the last match. I mean, come on. Come on. Right?
And how many does Triple H really have
exactly.
Under his belt?
And so it's like, man. And so you got someone that's about to be the face of the industry, be the new Vince McMahon. You can't have him lose. There's just no way. And you can't. I don't like that because I don't want to see Undertaker leaving. Why are they doing
this?
I don't understand
why
that either.
These guys?
Yeah.
Why now? Why in Australia? Why any of this? Why is this even a thing? Why are we a week away from Hell in the Cell and you're talking about fucking Triple H against Undertaker that's
in Australia?
That's in Australia in a week after Hell in a Cell. Like, what are we doing here?
And it should be in a big market. It should be in a big market, like here in the States. And,
you're promoting The Undertaker and Triple H. Really, when you have an opportunity to promote Hell in a Cell with your current superstars that you have.
Absolutely.
What are you dicking around with Triple H and fucking Undertaker for?
And
I love The Undertaker. I love The Undertaker. He's my favorite superstar of all time.
I agree, mine too.
Like, he's my guy. I fucking love that guy.
He's not my favorite, but he is one of my favorite. Obviously, is Stone Cold.
I literally saw him
Chris
debut.
Jericho.
Like, I watched him on
insane.
Saturday.
That's
debut.
so cool.
I saw like the promos of the. I can remember as a kid watching the.
So it makes sense. So seeing him, like, it brings you back a little bit.
So,
a couple years
like
ago,
I said,
right?
he's my guy.
Yeah,
like, has been for a long time since a little kid.
Right. And
but
now
what are you doing, dicking around with
now
The Undertaker and Triple H right now? When you're,
I think they're setting something up.
Well, and it's like it's like we talked about. It's like when they break out a movie that is an older movie that you liked back in the 80s.
Right, and things aren't going good, so...
The movie market isn't doing too good,
Right.
so what do? You break out a movie that people, they like that movie, so if you liked it back then, you're going to love it right now.
No, I got you, and I understand that they just sold SmackDown and they need to boost up Raw, and I get that, and I understand that.
And the ratings have been suffering.
Right. But why?
So now all of a sudden, we're getting McFoley, we're getting Triple H,
right.
we're getting The Undertaker, we're getting Shawn Michaels.
We're getting the evolution. So what are the dudes setting up? What are the guys setting up? What are they doing?
Yeah, we got the women's evolution. At the meantime, the guys are
we haven't seen these guys
living in the past, and we've got
we haven't seen them in how many years, and all of a sudden we're seeing them now.
Yeah, where's the evolutions?
I'm sure
the men's evolution.
Well, I'm sure the ratings were hurting before then. Well, I'm sure the ratings were hurting before then, but you don't need to bring past fucking greats or the good wrestlers to now and make them relevant. And why are we seeing them now? Like, what are you planning? And what's going on? I mean, why now? I mean, why now? I just don't understand it. I don't get it. They're up to something, and I smell that motherfucker.
No, they've got to be up to something.
They
They
should.
They hope. I hope they are.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, Jesus.
They are. And speaking of the past, a team that I think they've completely butchered, the B team, should be a pretty cool little tandem.
You would think, right?
Third generation, both guys. Everything should be awesome with it, and they've turned him into a comedy act. And,
well, it's kind of like the Fashion Club, right?
Yeah,
or
Fashion Police,
or Fashion Police.
It's the little comedy break. Every major wrestling promotion needs a comedy break. They need that.
But you mean to tell me New Day?
To make it?
Yeah, New Day and Usos lose to them for that? Like, I just, like, I don't know.
So the B team had their big rematch against Dolph and Drew, which Dolph and Drew, of course, won.
Of course.
At the end of the match, Dean and Seth jumped in the ring and they attacked Dolph and Drew. So they
did a beating down.
Yeah, and after the match, Seth and Dean are talking to Baron Corbin in the back with the sheriff, and they're
trying to arrest him.
to angle their way into getting a tag team match.
Yep.
So,
well, didn't they say that they were assaulted?
Seth says, "Okay, you know what, Baron? Let me kind of talk to you in the back, away from these two." And Dean and the police officer, they both go off, and then Dean talks to him about something about a speeding ticket or something.
Yeah,
and a suggestive speed thing, and
that was kind of
Rollins
funny.
comes out of the back and he's
so
super
was I speeding?
excited.
Yeah, so was I speeding technically? But there's a speed limit and there's a special suggested.
I gotta get somewhere.
And then I got to get somewhere, and I needed to get somewhere. I mean,
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
Yeah, so it was good. So, and Seth comes out of the back and he's super happy and he's patting on Dino, and
right.
They announced later on that Seth and Dean will, at Hell in the Cell, will have a tag team title match against Dolph and Drew.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens with that, though. So, same stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like, I kind of like this one. You know me.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronda, come on.
Ronda Rousey and Natalya.
Yeah, and Bliss and
with a little tip of
Mickey
the cap
James.
to the Heart Foundation with
Absolutely.
the heart attack that they did.
I like that. That's why I asked you. I was like, wow, what is that? And you're like, oh.
So Ronda and Natalya took on Alexa Bliss and Mickey James in a tag team match.
Which is good.
And during the match, there was a little bit of a tip of the cap from Ronda Rousey and Natalya. Natalya held
that was cool.
Mickey James, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
A la her papa. And Ronda Rousey came flying through with the clothesline, lariat, and the heart attack.
The heart attack.
Right? That's what
I like that with the Heart Foundation.
Used to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, a little
R.I.P.
Yeah, that was super
That was cool.
Yeah. Another kind of cool little moment from them again, and here we are again with the older guys. Mick Foley came out. Elias started to do his little sing song thing, and Mick came out. Love Mick Foley. We actually a couple days ago with our new roommate John. What's up, John? We watched the Hell in the Cell from, it was King of the Ring 2008, I believe it was.
98. It was 98.
Yeah, 98.
98.
That's what it was. 98. Yeah, 98. King of the Ring 98. And
amazing.
The match where Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of Hell in the Cell, and slammed in through it, and pretty much killed the man.
Dude, pretty much his tooth through his fucking lip. Like, holy shit.
So, and it was the 20-year anniversary of the match.
Of the match. That changed everything. It had tax, too. I mean, it had everything together that... Just at that time, I mean, we look at it now and think of it now, and it's nothing. But at that time, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. That was nuts. Mm-hmm. You know, we had the Monday Night Wars going on, and so they had to do something extreme and something different. And that is why they are one of the greats. And Mick Foley is always the... What was his category?
Mick was always like...
not the extreme wrestler, but pretty much don't give no fucks.
Yeah, he just didn't...
You know? Dude, that guy
insane.
he was insane, man. And we don't have that anymore.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Yeah, nothing like nothing like that.
So it was pretty cool to see him come out and talk and look good.
At the end of the little thing that they did, they said that Mick was going to be the guest referee at Hell in the Cell in the match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, he's a guest referee.
Which is a little interesting. Yeah, like, are they doing some sort of a thing where they're going to have Mick get involved in it?
See, to me, that would
Roman's
be my
drop
first.
His belt?
That to me, that's the first thing that I would come to mind to me is he's going to get involved somehow.
And
why would you be a guest
around
referee?
With Roman having the belt before and...
Well, why lock him in a cage with them?
You think he was going to get it when he wasn't going to get it, so maybe they're going to make him lose it when you think he's not going to lose it, too.
Well, Mick's got to play a factor. Mm-hmm. Why have him guest referee and locked up in there? Why don't you have another referee?
Should. Yeah, he's got to play some sort of a factor. He's going to play something. Said, why would you even have him in there if he's not going to play any kind of a factor at all?
That's a tell already, right? Yeah, so card shown.
Yeah. So that was the end of Raw. They ended the night with Finn Balor eventually he took on Elias. Finn beat Elias. At the end of the match, they showed Braun talking to Charlie backstage, saying he was looking for Roman. And throughout the night, he was yelling for Roman backstage. Right. And eventually, he caught up to Roman because Roman was standing up.
Yeah, just apparently was just right there, and he was looking for him.
Popped up, and he's commandeered the broadcast
stage.
Booth.
Yeah.
So he was standing on top of the broadcast
but you couldn't find him.
And did the Superman punch.
I just, that build-up's getting old right now. But I think
I've seen it.
Probably going to be to the end.
Before we've seen Braun.
I think this is the end now of it. And I think Braun's going to win.
The beginning.
I think Braun's going to win
a lot more.
No, I think they're going to move on that. Hopefully, bring in some new blood.
It'd be all right. I'd take that. And like I said, they've done the whole Roman. You think we're gonna do this with him, but we're gonna do that with him thing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll
see.
That wouldn't be too bad. I'd take that. I wouldn't mind that. So on to SmackDown. Jeff Hardy actually got to start out the evening. He came out and he cut the promo in ring, and was. Yeah, he said that he's going to finish off the whole Nakamura thing tonight.
Yeah.
And then he's going to move on to Randy Orton at Hell in the Cell
Hell in the Cell. Which will be very interesting.
Which should be pretty interesting, yeah. I can't wait to see Jeff jump off the top of Hell in the Cell pretty much.
I can't wait.
Pretty much what's going to happen.
I have no idea what's going on with Randy. When's the last time you seen him in action? Now you want to go?
I can't remember the last time I gave 2 rips about a Randy Orton match. But.
Yeah, but when's the last time you seen him even wrestle? And he wants to go inside of the Hell in a Cell. That's
I know,
funny.
but
Against the King.
It's against Jeff Hardy, so
Yeah.
and I mean, it should be super
wait.
crazy. It should be awesome. Jeff then had a match against Nakamura, which was, of course, broken up by Randy Orton coming out.
Of course.
The kind of scary thing for me as a Jeff Hardy guy is Jeff Hardy kind of had his little moment in the sun when he got the twist of fate on Randy Orton and then hit the Swanton Bomb as well.
Well, I mean,
Which, on the go-home show, hitting both those, that's probably not a real good sign for...
I mean, you can even look at it the other way, though. I mean, he busted his nut, and so maybe Randy's going to beat his ass. Who knows? I mean, they've been around for a long
that's
time.
what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, and
Like, he already had his moment.
Randy's the youngest champion ever.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. Randy will probably win it now.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he's going to win it because when's the last time you've seen him? And all of a sudden now he's in with the championship match and in the Hell in a
maybe
Cell.
it'll be Jeff doing
we'll
the
see.
Swan Tom off the top of the cage, and so he gets counted out or disqualified or match stopped or whatever. So
We shall see.
we're gonna see here in a couple days. Woo! Speaking of a couple days, they spent a couple days and then some on this AJ Styles and Samoa Joe thing.
God, so personal, so
They
annoying.
had another
repetitive.
promo. AJ Styles was talking to Samoa Joe directly, but before anybody showed up at the arena, sitting in his jeans at the top of the stairs. And it was actually a really good promo. Like, the stuff he said, it was cool. Like,
You know how I feel.
it was
about
all
this.
and well and good, but I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to see these guys actually fight instead of talking about.
Well, you already
fighting
know how
and
I feel
talking
about this
wives
shit.
And,
Well, yeah, you call and you talk to my
babies
wife, you
and-
talk to my kid. That's crossing the line a little too personal. I understand you're trying to build up something and characters, but when you mention my wife or my kids or my family, it's a little too far, bro.
man,
Too far for me.
man.
I don't care how much you're paying me. That's too much.
No, and they're friends, and they're
Well, you seen the daughter crying?
and
and like daddy.
You
and
don't
it's
fake
like,
that
dude,
kind of thing.
No. So now my kid is gonna remember that.
Yeah,
Likely, more than likely, he's gonna remember that.
yeah,
Whether I like it or not.
yeah.
But he's gonna remember that. I mean,
Yeah.
damn.
Well, and
Daddy's
another
getting hurt.
personal matchup that they've got set up for Hell in the Cell: Charlotte against Becky.
Boom.
Another big time
Best
personal.
friends. Yes.
Charlotte took on Sonya Deville.
You bitch.
And she beat Sonya, but at the end of the match, as she is walking up the ramp, she stops to take a selfie with some fans.
And then there's Becky
from
dressed
behind
up. Yeah.
comes
Ugh.
a woman in glasses and a dark wig, and it's
Lo and behold, who is
Becky,
it?
who
Becky
gets
Lynch.
Charlotte in the armbar then,
Right.
or they just harm her and pretty much rips her arm off.
I just think they're delaying it. I mean, they can't decide.
No, I think it's going to be fun. Actually,
No, that's cool. But as far as like the women's champ in
I
the
think
end,
it should be in Hell in the Cell, though.
no, that's fine. But in the end, like there's going to be like they cannot put their thumb or a finger on a champion yet. And like how Charlotte was, and she had her little time off. Since then, they haven't really had a consistent champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? We're here in Raw. We're here in SmackDown. Here's a one-night challenge. Come on out,
Yeah.
right? So I
Well,
don't even think they know who's going to be the champion yet. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You have so many worthy women here, and they're still little stupid beasts. And how long are they going to drag it out? Figure it out. Let's start some rivals. Let's get it going. Like, come
It
on.
had been rumored for so long, too. It's part of the problem is it had been rumored ahead of time for so long, so we knew it was coming. So
Right.
it feels like it kind of adds to it's felt like it's
Nostalgia.
It adds to the whole it's been dragging out thing. Right?
Yeah, get over it. Like, let's figure it out. Exactly. No, you're right. Like, it's been drug out long enough. Like, let's figure it out.
Well, yeah, and then the actual rivalry itself, though. I mean, she just turned on her at SummerSlam, so
Not
that
too
was
long
just,
ago.
Yeah, so that's like the actual turn itself has been short, but
I'm just frustrated with it.
yeah, the whole thing's just kind of feels like it's been
whatever,
drawn out.
Anywho.
Speaking of figuring things out with champions, the tournament of the tag teamers with Sheamus and Cesaro taking on Rusev Day to find out who is going to take on New Day at Hell in the Cell for the tag team titles.
That's interesting.
It's been a little tournament at the end of this is the finals of the tournament.
Well, it's like they disappeared and all of a sudden they come out. And,
well, yeah,
you know,
and for a while there,
they're relevant
Rusev
now.
Hated Aiden English, and now Aiden is Mr. Superstar Saver guy, and he took a brogue kick from Sheamus.
Absolutely,
he pushed Rusev out of the way and took it, and then Rusev hit the Machka kick.
Well, he messed up Rusev's match to help out, right?
Yeah,
and then he messed up Lana's match to help out.
He's gone just the opposite way.
And he was hated.
Do anything wrong all of a sudden.
Yeah, he was told to go away, and then now he's just this greatest guy in the world.
Totally setting up.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Him messing up again, and Rusev losing
in the split.
Shit. Yeah,
it's time
totally
to leave. Time to leave. Yeah, like whatever. Anywho, yeah. So, not a fan.
It's another little setup that they're doing. They're setting up the whole mixed match challenge.
I like this.
They're kind of pumping up the whole R-Truth and Carmella together, which I love.
I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean,
and Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega.
And Vega, like those two, I like them. I'm really a really big fan of those two.
Who, by the way, we should have had our little moment of silence for those of 9/11.
Oh.
She lost her father at 9/11.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. So we should have said something about that before things. So we didn't do that. So
that's sad, man. I couldn't. Oh, man. Super sad. Super duper.
So
I'm really pumped for that match. I like it. It kind of fits everybody, competition-wise, character-wise. It meshes good. It makes a good storyline. It's entertaining.
Almas apparently is on the right track.
He's on the rise. He's on the rise.
Seem to like him.
Well, you said that, Vince has really took a liking into him, and it's showing.
Which is a good thing.
Right, which is a good thing, and maybe he helps 205.
He hasn't noticed him before, but...
Well, Rey Mysterio's coming up, too.
And, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe we were starting to, I don't know, like, bring him up so when new people come in.
There's the rumors of them getting rid of 205 Live now, too, so what are you going to do with some of those guys?
Right, exactly.
So maybe you need to kind of...
But you have Mysterio, the face of your game.
And maybe they need to kind of change some things and have a little bit more, some guys come in that are a little bit more...
I hope they do.
Do some things a little bit differently.
I hope they do. SCU. Like shit like that. I mean, shit like that. I know. You know what I mean, though.
No, those guys can go ahead and stay in Ring of Honor, please. You know what I mean? All those guys in Ring of Honor, please, you just stay right where you're at.
You know what I mean, bro.
Don't come to WWE.
Don't have the jinx.
Please.
The jinx.
Do not do it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'll stop on that. Yeah.
Smackdown, the main event of the evening was Brie Bella against Maurice, who Maurice was making her first appearance on SmackDown in, what was it, like 7 years?
Some shit like that. It was ridiculous.
9 years, something
ridiculous.
Stupid.
It was entertaining.
And she looked amazing.
Didn't she?
Oh, my God.
4 months
she
after
just
having
had
a kid?
Fucking kid.
Yeah,
Are you
4
kidding
months.
Me?
It
Good
looked
Lord.
amazing.
Wow.
She flowed. Like,
wow.
she flowed. She flowed.
She flewed.
She flewed.
Sure, you know
no,
what?
She flowed. And she looked like she didn't skip a beat. No. For being that long, and especially having a kid.
Fantastic.
She looked good.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining. Like, her character is pretty cool. Yeah. I like her character.
The match ended with a DQ, and
it should.
Brie did the whole "I'm gonna punch you in the face" thing to
get out of
Miz
here.
And
get out of here.
It was fun. This whole rivalry, the whole thing's been
I love
fun.
it. I love it. I love it.
Been.
I like that rivalry. I like it. It's entertaining. It's fun. And this is what it's about, right?
I don't know that it needs to be main eventing SmackDown on your go home show, but it's fun.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a stretch. Don't you worry about it, John.
You know what else is fun is the main event for Ring of Honor this week, which was the Iron Man match between Jay Lethal and Jonathan the Octopus Gresham.
God, that was very interesting.
What a fucking match.
That was very, very,
That
very,
was
that was dope.
That was probably the match of the week for me.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. Jonathan Gresham picked up the first fall,
Late, right? Hella late.
In
Like, he had
the
2
match.
minutes. Like, Lethal had 2 minutes to do something or whatever,
he
right?
He walked in the octopus and he was punching his own leg
In
to
his
get
neck.
the extra
And in his
leverage on his neck.
Yeah, like,
and he
what
finally just had to tap.
He was like, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, and then Lethal locked in a figure four, right?
Yes, he did.
And then he got his own submission of his
Yes.
near
So
the
there's
end
1-1.
of
What, 2
so-
seconds left? 3 seconds
yeah,
left
and
or something?
then
Four
Gresham
time?
got on the mic and he was like, "Hey, I'm in my hometown. I'm not here.
OT, bro.
I'm not here for a tie.
Yeah, OT. One more
Give
winner
me just
gets
5
it.
more minutes."
Yeah.
He's like, "You know what? Sudden death. Let's fucking."
And what
bang."
happened in that sudden death, though?
And then
Like,
Lethal
good
got
Lord.
He hit that. He
Lethal
hit a
injection.
lethal injection that Jonathan Gresham
So dope.
sold. It was
Dude,
just
how he his angle.
A plus.
Dude, his angle.
That was
And he
a
even said it
good-
too right when it happened. He was like, dude, you sold that good.
Yeah, like A plus.
Dude, it looked like a cracker, like seriously, like crumbling.
Yeah,
like
just
his
tink,
angle with his
Yeah.
head, like that was insane.
It was
Like, how did
was
ouch?
awesome.
Like, that was my first inclination. Like,
it was
ouch.
super super awesome.
Well played.
Yeah, it was a great
Well
job.
played. Well
Great
played.
match.
Well played.
Amazing match.
Well played.
One of my, like I said, it had to be my favorite match of the week on all over all the whole everything. That was my number one. So one of the things that we like to do is we like to try to get a little bit more of your opinion as opposed to what we think about what's going on in the wrestling world. We don't want to just sit here and talk about what's going on.
No.
We want to hear about what you think about what's going
We do care.
on. Yes.
So we got Jeff in California. And so his question was, with the women's evolution taken off, did the WWE miss the boat on Sister Abigail to life instead of having Bray speak as his sister? That's a good question. I don't know how you could even pull that off.
It is a good question because if you think about like where they're at now compared to where they were back then,
Right.
They could have,
Huge.
yeah, like
Huge.
They could have led such a long, cool storyline.
Well, you
up
could have the
to
branch. You could have the
having some
branch.
kind of finale at Evolution,
We have the
or have
legend.
her pop out as Sister Abigail at Evolution.
We have the Wyatt family.
No, you could
Gone.
have. They could have done so much
Gone.
cool stuff with
They
that.
could.
Yeah, that's a.
Then you have the
good-
legend. Where are they at? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
The whole Wyatt
You could have done
family.
so much with that.
Yeah, they
right?
could have done so much with that. That's a good point right there.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I like that.
And I don't think they really
Too bad
missed the
WWE
boat.
doesn't think about long-term storyline like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think really it's
because they had
necessarily a
Kevin
boat.
Owens quit, and then the next goddamn week he came
He was
out.
a champ.
when,
Yeah, like, what?
when they're doing Shanti.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on, man.
So we got Brandon in Ohio. And he said, I took my kids to the Money in the Bank in 2015. They had a great time. If you could go back to any event, anywhere, where would you go? Ooh.
Like an event from the past, or like any event? Because I mean,
I would think a
WrestleMania, I'd go
pay-per-view.
to
I would
just
think a pay-per-view because Money in the Bank would be a pay-per-view, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pay-per-view, I would assume.
I'd say like a WrestleMania, because I would like to see a WrestleMania. I'd love to see a WrestleMania live. That would be.
I would want to do
But if it could like be a one from the past, like
anything.
I want to see like one of the older WrestleManias where like back when people were not quite sure if it was real or not. Like,
Really?
yeah, like back when you're amongst a bunch of other
Oh, yeah.
people a bunch of other marks that think that's.
Maybe I'm just whatever, but I was thinking the new Niner Stadium.
Oh,
WrestleMania
when
with Triple
Seth
H.
came out.
Yeah, and Seth.
Oh, when Seth cashed in, that would be pretty awesome to be at that. Like,
And that was the first year of the stadium being
that would have
open.
been pretty awesome to be there.
It just said it's close. I'm not a Niner fan. I'm not a Niner fan,
Yeah, because
but
that's like actually feasible, like
Right?
something that we could have gone
Right?
to, and
Right?
something that could have actually happened. Yeah. No, that's a good one.
And how cool would that be? Because the Super Bowl
That's
was
way too realistic for me. I'm doing time traveling. And
I just think it feasible.
Well,
I think
hey,
it more.
we can actually go to San Francisco and
right.
Santa Clara and be it. I'm Steve, and I'm a Hall of Famer. I think sensibly.
Don't worry about this. We're don't need to go back
cut
here.
out coupons and things.
Don't worry about it. I got an online coupon. $3 off, bro.
Jesus. So anyway.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you guys want to, please
do it. Hit
click
it.
subscribe down below, and
Bing.
don't forget to click that little notification bell to receive notification when we post our new stuff.
Absolutely.
Also, send your questions, comments, ideas to StephenJ.
I would love to read 'em and
There's
have
the
this guy
contact
laugh.
button up at top. You can find us on Facebook. You can write in the comments down below on this video, or if you're watching us on YouTube,
Right.
contact us in some way. Thank you guys for hitting us up.
Love you.
Watching us. We hope you're enjoying this. We love you guys. Love you guys.
Deuces.
I'm never stopping, I'm always popping this microphone and I'm dropping this heat and I'm never stopping. It's about action, we making moves, we actually be making plays. When we step to the microphone, we kill this every day. Stephen J, what's up? We about to cruise. Y'all sleeping on a snooze. Wake up, cause it's the crew.